Alright, so MEREOLEONA A is going to be coming out next Monday during the nighttime, so in about a week's time, a bit less by the time I'm uploading this video, and I just want to make some videos talking about how she should play with other units, which units will be very good with her. Now for the first video of probably many, or maybe some, I don't know how many I'll make of these, but I want to at least make one for theory crafting, just thinking what teams will be good. Which burn DPS will be better between FUEGOLEON and MAGNA. Now previously, I said for free-to-plays that Fuego is just not worth it, and I think I do stick by this, but I do want to go more in-depth into this point because it is a bit nuanced with how Fuego will work with MEREOLEONA, and of course we don't have Merio yet. We don't know if what's here is going to be what we get as the final product completely. We know some parts are going to be the same, like the mana zone and part of the ultimate, but not the full ultimate, so we don't know, right? Now, depending on how she ends up, MAGNA could be better, or Fuego could be better. So we're going to have to talk about what Merio does first to kind of give a recap, then go into Fuego and then MAGNA, okay? So MEREOLEONA is a green defender, which at first doesn't seem good, but then you realize how good this is just considering her dupe passives. Now, these dupe passives might be my favorite thing in the game, just because of how the current meta is, where because of the fact, it's so stupid, it's still a speed meta in the way that you're running a lot of the times just a William with Julius, and the quicker William, the one who goes first, uses the combo with Julius to kill the other Julius or kill someone else, right? Kill the Charlotte, right? Usually you are able to get the kill, so it's really about who goes first. Now, what Merio is able to do is taunt the person with the highest all attack, which means for one turn Julius is going to be taunted usually. So she might just completely make Julius useless. Because you're attacking Merio, who has stun block, is a tank, and is not taking much damage, and you can't do anything else, right? Which is so good. And then when she is hit, she applies burn to all the enemies every time she's hit. So you could literally just end up going on your turn and have 3 burns on all the enemies, which is insane. Okay, it's insane. Because of the fact that Merio gets increased damage from burns, Fuego gets increased damage from burns, and MAGNA gets increased damage for burns. And then also, this skill page exists. 25% increased damage per burn, max dupe. It's crazy, right? So her burn applications are going to be the best in the game considering she taunts and it's every time she's hit, right? Now, what I find very nice is her stun block with damage reduction, which is the thing that MAGNA needed, and Fuego at the same time. It's so crazy because Fuego's main problem with me was that he gets stunned too easily, and usually Julius attacks him because he's a red DPS, right? Now, at least Fuego lives. The thing is, Fuego does live because he has immortality, but the stun block is going to make it so he doesn't get stunned, and then the damage reduction is going to help MAGNA live. So it helps both of them, but in the end, because MAGNA dies so easily, bro, so easily, it's kind of sad. It's to the point where sometimes I wonder, do I just put one defense piece on him at least? But then it's like you lose the damage. So I'm going to have to test some things out with both MAGNA and Fuego, right? Now, she does taunt on her skill 1, and on her skill 2, she removes barriers, plus applies mana zone to the whole team with the skill page, which is why it helps both Fuego and MAGNA, because she gives herself mana zone at 8 SP, but on her skill 2 she gives everyone stun block plus the damage reduction. We don't know how much the damage reduction is, but it could be crazy. And then, as I said before, she gets an extra turn when she kills, removes barrier, and then gets extra damage per burn on the enemy on her ult, single target. So this should basically just be a one tap. So even if she's a tank, she should still be like a hybrid, like Black Asta, but in a better way, because hers permanently just like damage and tanking, where Asta, it's one or the other usually. Well, it's either only defense or tank and attack later on, right? So yeah, that's MEREOLEONA. Now from this, we could kind of go more into FUEGOLEON. I think for me, my main thing that I wanted to talk about was Fuego, okay? Fuego is a bit of a hot topic. I think a lot of people on Global are really into Fuego, and I saw Gotcha Death basically repping for him, and I don't think that's wrong. On Global, he is very good. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did say that, but a lot of people were pulling him for the wrong reason. Now, Fuego over time will kind of just fade out a bit, and then MAGNA's going to come in, and then after, they're both kind of going to just be like useless in a way. So Fuego at the moment is good, but then over time for free-to-plays just isn't it, right? His damage is very good if you have this skill page max duped. As a free-to-play, are you getting the skill page max duped? Are you? Tell me. Because I could easily do like a solid million damage in PvP with this skill page, because 25% extra damage per burn, easy, right? But getting that as a free-to-play, you're not getting that. And then the other way is to get him max dupe. why, like, it's too niche, right? It's genuinely better to get a skill page max dupe than him, which is a bit embarrassing for Fuego, but whatever. So he needs high investment because per burn, it could go up to 40% extra damage per burn if you have him max duped and his skill page, which to compete in high end PvP in those couple months later, like it is on JP at the moment, is going to be kind of needed. Because this Fuego is attacking after Charlotte puts in her 54% damage reduction and William puts his 34% damage reduction for 88% total. And then sometimes Noel's going to taunt Fuego and then apply the magic attack reduction. Or Asa is going to put defense up also with total defense. So you gotta do a shit ton of damage to be able to contend. And the problem with him is that after a couple turns, he sucks. Because if he takes too much damage, his immortality is going to proc, it's going to wear out. And then after that, he has no defense mechanism. So you really got to take care of things quite early. Right, that's the main thing. He gotta take care of things quite early. Now that's why with MEREOLEONA, it's gonna be good because she's gonna apply the burns and then he's gonna get his stuff and maybe up to the 220%. Now sometimes, which shockingly enough, it might not even be enough. Cause sure, you might do 1,000,000 damage, but then you gotta consider they got 90% damage reduction, increased defense, and then also either you have lowered attack, lowered damage, or a bunch of other stuff, right? So many things are being applied to make sure you do less damage that you gotta either do the damage before the damage reduction is up or just do so much stupid ass damage that you'll be fine. And for Fuego to be able to do that so late into the game, right, it's gonna be a bit weird, right? So we're gonna have to see how Fuego ends up playing out in top rank PvP. I would have tried him out, but they kind of like put everyone down to the lower league, so I can't really check that out. So yeah, very unfortunate. But we will see how he works with MEREOLEONA. Now I think he can be very good. His damage is insane, right? His damage with the skill page max dupe is insane. Without it though, it's bad. That's my main thing. Where without the investment, it won't be that good. So that's my point. Will Fuego or Magna be better? And at this current point in time, I think if MEREOLEONA's damage reduction is good enough, because the main part is not that he dies right away. Because right away you have 88% damage reduction and a bunch of other stuff. It's that later on, as you want him to use his ult and everything, he's gonna die. So after those 2 turns are up, usually, right, Magna dies right away. Just like that. So MEREOLEONA, if her damage reduction is good enough for Magna, then we might be eating. That's the main point. So if the damage reduction is good enough, Magna will be better. Reason being is that MEREOLEONA is a single target, right? So she's going to get the kill here, which is the same ult as Magna, literally the same passive for the most part. And then she's going to be able to apply monozone. So my thing is that Magna is... Okay, so single target damage, Magna's higher. And going by that logic, if MEREOLEONA is also doing single target and he's doing single target, then there's no need for a full-on AoE, right? Because after his ult, he's kind of useless. Where Magna just gets the stun on every attack, which can be good or bad depending on how much status ailment immunity there is in the game. Or in like matches. So sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad, but at least he gives himself stun block. It's really just if he will be able to tank. And if he's able to tank, he will be good. And this team will be kind of crazy. You put Charlotte with it. You could also put William. You could put like Charlotte, William, Mario, and Magna to be able to tank at first and then be good later on. Mario's going to be taunting Julius, so Magna will not be really in the crossfires turn 1, which is going to be good. Because Julius damage now, especially on KR, is just kind of KR and JP. Sometimes I say JP, sometimes I say KR, and people are like, oh, only KR? Only JP? But no, why do you want me to say KR and JP every time? So Magna will actually be very good, especially if you consider with this, because he keeps on reapplying burns, and this guy already gets 40% extra damage per burn. So adding this 25%, it's going to be crazy. His single target damage is way higher than Fuego's. And I'm very ready for it to be quite good. Now, Fuego, especially if you get into this, though, like this is quite crazy. Now, I don't get how the increased damage works exactly. Because, like, I feel sometimes that this 25% works a lot better than like getting it up to 75%. Like sometimes I'm like, is one stack with this 25% better than 2 stacks alone? Because this is supposed to be 75 to 45, but sometimes it works differently. I don't know if it's because this 25% is at the end, like it calculates afterwards, so it's like a multiplicative buff. Y'all let me know what you think. There's no way of knowing because the math calculations for this game are really shit. Or just hard to find. I guess hard to find and very convoluted to where I just like, the fuck do they want us to do, man? Like, what's right, what's wrong, right? And it's too much testing and it's too it's too hard to get like basically stable results that are the same, because it varies so much, which is the main problem. So overall, right? Overall, let's kind of recap, see what we want to like say. And for right now, Fuego would technically be better. If Magna is still gonna die, sure. But the thing is, Julius might be kicked out of the meta, and the meta might be only green and red now. Reason being, obviously, as we talked about, right? Mario's gonna taunt Julius, and that might be enough to just single-handedly kill him, because Julius won't be getting any kills, right? So what is he gonna do, right? What is he gonna do? And she's green, so she could just fucking destroy Julius too. Removes the barrier, gets the kill on Julius, GG, right? So yeah, if though that damage reduction is very high and we see that it does help Magna, he could be good. But as of right now, it's very hard to tell. We'll see. I think the meta is going to be very fun after this, because Mario is going to be helping at least 3 teams. Green team. She's going to be letting Fauna run this too. If you consider it, right? MEREOLEONA is going to be applying the burns, and then by the time it's Fauna's turn, she's going to get the 75% increased damage total, and her AoE damage is already high. So Mario and Fauna are going to be good. Then the burn team itself is going to be good without Fauna, and then also you could just run the normal team of like William, Julius. I don't know if Julius is going to be good anymore, but I don't know. It's also weird because I could say that, but then you look at the DPSs and I don't know what other DPSs would be good. Luck, I don't know if he'll have a place in this type of meta, because his damage, I don't know. His damage isn't crazy. He has his own damage reduction, but now with MEREOLEONA too, we're going to be able to stall out a bit more. Since she gives stun block and the damage reduction to the whole team, which is going to be why it's so good, is because it's going to be after the other damage reductions wears out sometimes, so that's great. I could see Yami though being decent. Yami could maybe get some place in the meta because Mario is going to be giving him stun block too, which is going to be very strong, right? Very strong. So we'll have to see. It might just be a tank meta where it's like Black Asta and MEREOLEONA, the whole meta. That would be funny. But yeah, no, I think honestly now it's the perfect harmony of Mario trumps Julius, Julius trumps Asta, Asta trumps Mario. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's essentially it. Thank you guys for watching the video. I would say that Magna and Fuego at the moment are pretty tied, but Magna would beat out if damage reduction is there.